Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, April 21st, 2025 at about 10:10 a.m. Eastern Time. The video I'm making this morning has to do with a comment that I made in yesterday's video, part 3 of the study on truth and falsehoods, false teachings, with a question of why the Torah. That's the video we posted, or I posted yesterday. That's the one that's up there now. And in that video, I made a statement saying that Satan, the devil, Hashatan, is never going to push you in the direction of following the Torah, following Yah's commandments, following what Messiah did and modeled, following what the apostles did and modeled. He's going to always show you the opposite, or something that looks a little bit like it, like a false, like a fugazi, like a fake $100 bill. It looks like the real thing, but it's not. It almost looks as if I could go out and spend it, and if someone's going to really take it. But in the end, it's going to send me to jail because it's a fake copy. This is what he does. And we're going to look at a few scriptures this morning quickly so I could prove to you and show you that this goes all the way back to the garden, okay? He'll always lead you to follow false commands, false feasts. The false commands and false feasts we know pretty well because I've said them over and over again in my videos. They're what the world follows today, what most of the church teaches today. Easter, Christmas, Lent, All Saints' Day, even holidays that are quasi-religious, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. You could go on and on. These are false feasts, false traditions. They're just merely traditions. They're nothing to do with Scripture and everything to do with ultimately leading people down the road that leads to Sheol, or going to hell. Let's put it that way. Yah's feasts are mentioned from the beginning. It says this in Genesis 2:2-3. And in the seventh day, Elohim completed his work, which he had done. And he rested in the seventh day from all his work, which he had made. Verse 3. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work, which Elohim in creating had made. He set it apart. He made it holy, separate from creation. This is the seventh day. This is the Sabbath. There were no Jewish people then. There were no Hebrew people then. The day was created for all mankind to be following and adhering to. It's a commandment from the beginning. Next verse, Genesis 2:16-17. Yah gave Adam commandments. Verse 16. And Yah Elohim commanded the man, commandment, saying, eat of every tree of the garden. Verse 17. But do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall certainly die. That was the command he gave Adam in the garden. Simple command, you would think. A lot of the commands from Leviticus chapter 23 that tells us the feasts of Yah, they are his feasts, he says. We disregard, many disregard, and replace them with counterfeits, fugazis. Then next, in Genesis 3:1-6, now we see what exactly transpired in the garden. Verse 1, and the Nahash, or the serpent, was more crafty than all the lives of the field which Yah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, is it true that Elohim has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? So right off the bat, Satan is twisting the truth. He didn't say every tree. He said a particular tree. You could eat of all the trees, he said, but not this one. Satan right away comes in and twists it and starts placing that doubt. Verse 2, and the woman said to the Nahash, to the serpent, we are to eat of the tree, we are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. And he didn't say lest you touch it. Eve added that in. But now she's starting to doubt and twist the word. Verse 4, and the Nahash said to the woman, you shall certainly not die. Satan says to the church today, celebrate anything you want as long as Jesus' face is on it. It's okay. You're doing it in sincerity. It's the same thing. It's the same lie, repackaged, rebranded, put in, and twisted. You shall certainly not die. When Yah tells us you're going to die if you break the commands. Verse 5, for Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened. This is the Nahash, the serpent talking. And you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. And there is sin. What did the serpent do? He used the senses. It's good. She says it's good for, it's pleasant to the eyes, desirable. He played on her. He tricked her. He deceived her. Okay? Now we fast forward. Turn to 2 Thessalonians 2, 1 through 4 in closing. This is the Apostle Paul writing to believers in Thessalonica. As to the coming of our Master Yahushua, Messiah, and our gathering to him, we ask you, brothers, okay, he's writing to people who are believers, not to become easily unsettled in mind or troubled either by spirit or by word. So don't let it linger in your mind, in your spirit, or by word, or by letter, as if it's from us, as if the day of Yah has come. In other words, the day of Yah is something yet future. Certain things have to happen before the second coming of Messiah. Verse 3, let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first. Paul's telling them that the falling away, people are going to embrace false teaching, false letters, false traditions, teachings of men, doctrines of men, and fall away from the faith. They're going to abandon it or water it down so much that it doesn't even look like the original. It's a bad copy of the original, or they're outright going to become atheists. They're going to leave the faith, fall away from the faith. That's to come first, he says. And next he says, the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. Remember yesterday we looked at what sin is. It's without the Torah. It's lawlessness. The man that's coming, the anti-Messiah, is the man of lawlessness. He's not going to get you to follow the true Torah. He's going to get you to follow a counterfeit Torah, if you will. False feasts, false festivals, false traditions. That's who he is. That's who Hashatan sends. He sends an anti-Messiah. He looks a little like Messiah Yahushua in that he's not coming with all this false tongue. He's coming speaking like a serpent. Some of the things he says look true, sound true. Good to the eyes, good to the senses. The flesh accepts it. That's what he comes to do. And then he's noted as the son of destruction. And in the final verse, or the fourth verse 4, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Elohim, or that is worshipped, so that he sits as Elohim in the dwelling place of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim. So all this hasn't happened yet. It's in process. People are falling away now, and we're falling away at this time. It's a period of time. But now today, as we move closer into the beast system and the clock on this time scale and biblical time scale is winding down, we're seeing an increase of falling away, an increase of deception and lawlessness. And we're seeing possibly a dwelling place being built in Israel, in Jerusalem, another temple possibly, where this anti-Messiah may set himself up. It hasn't happened yet, but it's in process. So this is what I wanted to clarify when I talked about this yesterday, that he's anti-Torah. He's against the Torah. He's going to try to deceive you like he deceived Eve and Adam in the garden, and play on your senses, play on your heart, pull on your heartstrings. Oh, don't, Christmas is good, Easter's good, it's all about Jesus. When it's all about following Hashatan. And he's getting you to go down a road that leads to destruction. It's anti-Torah. That's what I wanted to clarify in this video. I hope this clarified what I stated yesterday and just built upon it a little more. We could go further into it, but Hashatan he's a counterfeit. Remember that, it's a counterfeit. Sometimes it looks like the real thing, but it's false. It's falsehood. And if you're following falsehood, you need to come out of it. You need to come out of it. And you need to know what the word says and do what the word says, like James says. You need to be doers of the word, because the devil and his demons know the word as well. They believe. They believe, but they don't follow. They're anti-Torah. They believe, they know. So what more are you than they are? You believe, or I believe, and I follow Torah. I don't follow anti-Torah. And I have a mediator that we talked about yesterday that I could go to when I mess up, when I sin, when I break Torah, miss the mark, and I could go for the forgiveness and the grace that he gives me. I don't have to suffer the death penalty from the 10 Commandments. That's been done away with. Messiah took care of that for us. We don't kill people and stone them today. We go to the throne of grace and favor. That's through Messiah, our mediator. I hope this helps clear some things up today. Read the word and do what it says. Anthony, signing off. Yah bless.